Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel, and my strategy is something built into Google Slides that you might already be aware of, and that is animations. So with any text box or image that appears in Google Slides, if you right-click that, you have the option to animate it. And I'm going to be very straightforward. Of our strategies today, this might be the most time-consuming for the teacher's part. So I would not recommend doing this for every single lesson you teach because you'll drive yourself crazy. But this can be a great strategy for early in the morning, late in the afternoon, at moments when you think your kids start to lull and to pull them in and make the lesson a little bit more exciting. Also a great strategy if it's something that your students maybe aren't super interested in, but it's something you have to teach, something that that they need practice with. Animations also draw in visual learners. It can emphasize important concepts for you. It maximizes time for a lesson. If you have everything all prepared and ready to pop up on your screen, you can keep your lesson moving along. And you may have already caught on to this, but a little bonus idea to keep your kids engaged throughout a lesson that would keep this less time consuming. You could have small animations related to the content or something that your kids are interested in appear throughout your lesson. And I've done that today. So I want you to keep your eye out because you've seen it a few times already, and it's going to appear on every slide until the end. And then at the end, we're going to check in and see if you caught what my secret image is and how many times it's appearing on the slide. Now with your students, you might preface that at the beginning of your lesson and say, we have a character from Batman hiding in our slideshow today, and I have a prize for the person who can find him throughout the slideshow. Or they get to pick a Go Noodle, something along those lines. But you could turn that into a bunch of different competitions for your students. And Kathy, on the next slide, I'm going to signal you with a point because there are lots of animations on this slide when you click. So I took this straight from Benchmark Universe from grade 2, unit 3, week 2. The students were practicing main ideas and key details. And I know that is always a struggle for my students because it takes so much brain power. So we read the story, Kathy, called Welcome to the Grasslands. And so we're going to fill in our chart. If you just click, it should pop up. We read the story, Welcome to the Grasslands, and we pulled out some key details. And the first detail that I noticed when we were reading is that most grasslands are flat. Thanks, Kathy. And the second key detail I found is that they cover thousands of miles. And that was on page 4. I got both of those details from page 4. And finally, the last thing I found is that savannas in Africa are a good example of grasslands. And so our main idea of the text, go ahead, Kathy, is that grasslands are large, flat areas of land covered in grass that animals eat. And click one more time for me. And one more time. So you can add in just some fun things like that to give it, just switch it up a little bit and make them excited to see the content or surprise them, like I said, with some drier lessons. You can click again, please. Thank you, and go to the next slide. So that was an idea for reading. I actually love using animations for phonics because it really emphasizes parts of the word or parts of the sentences. So this is another routine that you could do with trick words. You could read this sentence with your students. The kid got a gift from mom. You could use a cold call strategy or a volunteer to say, who can find the word from in this sentence? And this even allows your kids, they can point on the screen if they wanted so that they can all interact. And then when Kathy clicks, that word highlights because I've put it on top. And it will go through the same thing. Do you have a book to read? We have 2 sight words in this sentence. We're looking for the words do and have. Allow your students some time to respond and then highlight or acknowledge their right answer. And you can click through to the end there, Kathy. I'm going to pass it on to Andrea. Keep looking for a moving object.